No, look. Technically, I guess I was a Midwestern guy, which a lot of people wouldn't understand that either. I'm like pseudo Canadian.
Pretty much, you're close enough to the border that it's fine.
Yeah, I'm like hipster Canadian. Like, I want to be cool, but I'm not really into the gig. Like, instead of growing out a beard, I'd grow a crocheted beard or something.
I mean,
through a lot of pseudo counter.
Okay, so you know how you have like all the different like states that border the whatever.
Yes.
I think Michigan is the least pseudo Canadians because like everybody knows how Canadian Minnesotan people are.
Canadian Minnesota?
No, like Minnesotans are practically Canadians with how nice they are. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, Minnesota Vikings. I get that.
And then you know, Michigan's kind of like mainly because probably if it's proximity to Toronto, where Toronto is like the least Canadian kind of place.
Well, I mean, if you're going to look at Detroit, then yes, where that's going to be the least Canadian area. But if you're going to look at the Upper Peninsula, like Sault Ste. Marie and stuff, I mean, they bleed Canadian right there at that point. Like, if Canada were to invade and take over the Upper Peninsula, there would not be a fight. Because there's only like 10,000 people. And, I mean, in fact, I think the wildlife would be a greater danger to the Canadian Army than the actual people there.
Yeah, okay.
They'd invade in moose, but they'd have to fear the black bear.
We have bears, too.
Yeah.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, dude. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Casual Master Quest. This is episode 38. I'm your host for the episode. I'm Nick. We have people with us today. We have one more person than usual. As usual, we have Tyler, and then we're also joined.
Hello, yes,
by a special guest, Kevin.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin. Hi,
Kevin. Look alive. You are live to the air to a billion people who are probably actually not listening, but they can hear you. It's like the butterfly effect. Your words will carry for generations.
It will.
I think. I don't know. Maybe not. If I don't pay, what's up?
I just hope I don't say anything wrong.
It's okay. Your grandkids will pay the price.
I was gonna say, it's not your blood that'll be spilled. Don't worry. Okay, so we pieced it together. We got a guy from Sweden, we got a guy from the Midwest America, and now we have a guy from British Columbia, Canada. We are representing.
That's me.
That's Nick. We are representing over half the world at this point. We just need to grab an Australian or something, and we got the full corners here. Like maybe from somebody from Antarctica at this point, if we want to feel topical. But yeah, we are worldly, man. Look at us. Wow.
Yeah, it's about time Americans got some culture, so
yeah, because we don't have culture at all, man. Pizza? We made that ourselves.
Sure. Okay, sure. Also Wonder Bread. Yeah,
that's bacon, my cousin.
Turkey wrapped in bacon, deep fried. Sticks of butter, deep fried. Some culture. I'm jealous. I'm heckin' jealous.
Cool Whip. People, Cool Whip. We got the Cool Whip.
This is episode number 38.
Yes,
as we said, we have a special guest. Let's just jump right into it. Kevin, how's your week been going? How's life? What's happening? Tell us about yourself.
Well, my week has been just like any other week. I go to school from Monday to Friday, and then it's all chill.
Okay. So let's start off with this. How old are you, Kevin?
I am 17.
Only 17, you're a baby.
Oh man, I gotta watch my mouth then. Jeez, if I swear, your parents are gonna yell at me.
He's gonna learn one way or the other. You're only 17. Gosh, my sister's turning 19 this year. I can't even remember. I remember what it's like to be 17. Now Nick, I'm feeling like the old man.
Are we about to do the thing where we're like, start shaking the cane? Wow, back in my day, we used to have sugar-free whipped cream. And we used to throw rocks at each other and call each other names. We didn't have these servers.
Okay, so you're 17. How do you and Tyler know each other?
Well, the first time I spoke to him was when I applied for helper at the Pixel Spark Generation server, and he contacted me and like, I don't know, what did you do? I mean,
I believe the term is called bully. I bullied you.
You didn't. That's the opposite. You helped me.
I was just a fresh mod out of the scene, and I wanted to make sure that we had a slew of people that wanted to be helper in the server, and I did not want to let pig wash. I was just going to be toxic, salty, whatever you want to call it. That just bring a negative light or drama to the server. And so this poor soul, Mr. Spaxter here, comes into the scene with an application. I look, I'm like, I don't know this guy. And, I throw my cigar to the side. I'm gonna have to find out what kind of person this is. And so I talk to him, and I just give him the most vicious, over the top, hey, this is just a game, I don't care drill. And I asked him some serious questions. I was like, what are you going to do for the server if you become staff? And I don't know, like, I tried doing this eye-opening level shit, and I was like, Tyler, this is a Minecraft server with Pokemon on it. What are you doing to this? Which apparently, to a 17-year-old kid, and it's like, I'm bullying him. I mean, he's helper now, and he's doing fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, I think you really made me like see what I was doing wrong, because I 2 years ago or something like that, I tried to become helper on the same server, but I guess that was the time when you could apply, like anyone could apply when you went onto the website. There was just a link to the application, and I got denied like 5 times because I did the same thing every time, like the generic cliche stuff, like, yeah, I'm gonna make the server a better place and stuff like that.
Right. I totally understand that. Honestly, nowadays, actually, maybe it's different, but I honestly think that you could have posted your application and you could have made it in just fine. But at the very least, this gives you some kind of ambition to help with the server, and as well as to find something to do. Yeah. Because I'm not going to lie, as with many people, like by the time I got mod, I was starting to get burnt out because I completed my goal. I did all the stuff I said I wanted to do. And like right now, I'm trying something new. I'm doing for Pixel Spark, the Generation server. Sorry, Nick, I'm going to talk about video games for a second here. I'm working on what is called a rare drop table system, a la the style of RuneScape, where all Pokemon will have a chance to drop in a special token that'll give you cool rare items. And right now I'm doing research of what items to drop, the list of Pokemon that should, drop what tier and stuff. And I'm telling myself, to do that. But the problem is, though, I'm still not on the server when I'm working on that. And so it kind of looks bad on me that I'm not, just on in the chat and stuff. Plus, I might be playing a shit ton of Kingdom Hearts, but, whatever. Oh, quarter in the jar. Sorry, Kevin.
Okay, my parents aren't home.
Oh, thank goodness. Ooh, man, actually, that makes me even more nervous. Oh, geez. Okay, before trouble starts to brewing, Nick, what was your week like, man?
My week's school's starting to really escalate, so just to fill everybody in, specifically Kevin, I'm a university student here in Canada, Vancouver. I'm studying, I'm in a weird faculty. It's like an interdisciplinary faculty, mixes like art, technology, coding, and a bunch of things into one, where you can do all sorts of things. And I'm going into like web design. And I'm taking one more course than usual this semester, and they're not difficult courses. It's just the workload is not a lot, but there's so many things happening, and on top of me wanting to play everything, I keep falling behind just a little bit. But beyond that, everything's fine. I think I put down that I tried a VR thing. Have I talked extensively about VR in terms of gaming on the show, or have I mentioned it before?
I honestly, I've talked about the PlayStation VR every now and then, but I haven't seen you really put anything out on your end. You might have said you tried some stuff with your friend at one point, which sounds incredibly suspicious, the way I described that. So, for legal purposes, for the Canada Mounted Police, Nick isn't trying anything illegal, I hope.
It was all with consent, but
okay. Yes.
No, I dislike VR.
Well, that's a hell of a bombshell. Okay.
I
Why
just in
don't
general,
you like VR?
I don't like change. I don't like the way it'll probably change how we play FPSs.
Just
I'm a
use the
shooter.
debit card then. You don't have to worry about the change.
Shut up, Tyler. I just really don't like change, and I'll get used to it when it happens, I guess. But also, it's not the most economically feasible gaming option right now outside of the PSVR. But that's outdated. Like the Vive and the Oculus, they're about $500 each, right?
Yes, and not to mention the cost to build a virtual reality game, is very high, pound for pound. So as a result, you're having companies have to pay a higher amount of money just to, get a similar game that you would normally.
Yeah.
And that's going to create a limited market, which it has obviously so far. We've seen virtual reality games come out, but the big hitters, just hasn't happened.
Yeah, that and
Not
a lot of
anyways.
them. That and a lot of them are like horror games, which I have no interest in, as we've discussed plenty. Not most of them, but there are quite a few horror games out for the VR, and I'm like, I have no interest in that. I want a shooter, but for a shooter, I need a 360-degree treadmill. Where I just have to like move and stand in place, and I can just run and then
stand
I
on
move
like
in the
a
game.
metal what is it called, like not a snowboard, like a snow sled or something.
Yeah.
Like you're being hung in a harness and you're just moving around and stuff.
Yeah, when they do that'll be the fastest way for me to lose weight, because I'd spent so much time on that, and then that makes that adds a higher level of interactivity to an FPS game that I would potentially be very interested. Regardless, going back to my point, there is a program at my university in my faculty called Semester in Alternate Realities, where they put together a bunch of people into smaller groups of 4 or 5 to create different VR experiences. It's pretty cool. Like they work with like they'll have a designer, a coder, and all these different people with different skill sets in one team to create different things. So like one group did, I think it was called Rising Tides, where they showcase in virtual reality the effect of global warming and rising sea levels and how that would potentially affect the landscape of certain areas. Another place did like a very cute interactive like cafe kind of VR experience where you could sit down, go to a cafe, order something, and meet some people like that they've programmed in. Another group did, I think, a sleep paralysis VR experience, which I stayed the fuck away from because nobody's gonna deal with that. But that's my week, and then I've been playing quite a few games. But yeah, Tyler.
Yeah,
Tyler, you've had a week. You've survived. You're a survivor.
I've had a chilling experience. Global warming doesn't exist as a Midwestern believer and all that stuff. Yeah, brother, global warming doesn't. Actually, I don't know if Hulk Hogan supports global warming or not, so I can't endorse his view. So yeah, the polar vortex was a fun thing this week. For those who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, supposedly there is a very cold circulatory system up in the North Pole area that traps frigid cold winds. And for some reason, last week it was like, oh hell no, I'm busting out of here. And so a portion of the cycle just broke out of the circle and shot through parts of Canada into the Midwest of the US, which suddenly dropped the temperature from like 20 30 degrees Fahrenheit down to like negative 20 30 40 degrees, and it was cold as tits, as it turns out. That was one of those things where you don't want to piss outside because it'll freeze before it hits the ground kind of stuff. And man, that was rough. Working 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden feeling that just whoa. I turned Jack Frost real quick. I ordered so much shit. I even bought an electronic hand warmer. I didn't know those things existed, but they're pretty cool.
An electronic hand warmer?
Electronic hand warmer, yes. Not because you think of the I forgot what the brand is typically, of the kind that you just bust out, you shake it up a little bit,
right,
and then your hand is warm for a couple hours. There's one that is USB powered that generates heat, and it's $30, or it was. I think it bumped up to like 37 because everybody bought them out. And yeah, they're pieces of shit.
But do they warm your hands?
So yes, the fact of the matter is it did heat up to, according to the thing, it was like 130 something degrees Fahrenheit, which is fairly warm, but it would take about 5-10 minutes for it to reach that temperature. So basically what would happen is Nick is trying to calculate that into Celsius, called your shit.
That is, that's 54 Celsius for the people who use the correct system. Carry on, Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you too, Kevin. I forgot. Metric motherfuckers. That's what I call you guys. The metric motherfucker game. So what would happen is I would have to get to a store and, looking at the paperwork, decide if I'm going to be hella miserable to turn this thing on before I get out of the truck. That way, by the time I come back in, it's nice and toasty for me to grab. Because if I come back and I'm like, frostbite at the fingertips, and I'm holding this thing that's just, room temperature at the most. Plus, it's also a power bank and a flashlight. I thought that was pretty cool. So it has multiple good uses for it.
I dislike products that are just too many things in one.
Well,
because it's probably made very poorly in some foreign place, and it's all these things in one. The wiring is bad, and then you just stand to like lose a finger.
So if I understand this correctly, Nick, unless it is the army knife from Switzerland, you don't trust a multitask tool.
Not a multitask electronic tool.
Okay. Well, if you think about it like this, this electronic hand warmer, power bank, and a flashlight, it feels like that's something you would keep in your glove box after charging it up to max, in case your car gets disabled and it's cold as shit.
Oh no, so, sure. I still have one of them because they still sound cool. I just don't trust them.
I can't blame you. Like, I'm afraid because the turn on the heat, it's just a switch on the side. I could easily just put it in my backpack as, the switch is on, and before I know it, my backpack is, smoldering because, God forbid I, keep gasoline or something in there too, which I wouldn't. Well, usually, some people piss me off in traffic. Other than that, it was so fucking cold that my car died. And it not just died like, oh no, the battery, took a dump. I gotta, jump it up and, warm it up and everything. No, this fucker had its own funeral while I was out. I came back and I missed a casket being lowered into the ground. That was my car. And so I got it jumped up. Mind you, like I said, the -14 at this point, which, Nick, what is that in Celsius?
-14?
Yeah.
I mean, that starts getting close to Celsius. It's -25. That's pretty cold.
That is cold. And so I got to get under my car because my hood popper was frozen. And so I unhatch it. I get this thing jump start. It was so cold that the power steering fluid was no longer a fluid. It turned into a slushy. And it jammed up the power steering pump, which meant the serpentine belt was just rubbing against it and smoking. And I was like, okay, car's dead. It was worth $500. Now it's worth whatever it's, in scrap. Rest in peace. Rip. I left a frozen rose on it, and then I just flat out abandoned it for 2 days. Fast forward, I took it to the mechanic shop, and it turned out it was just very cold. I just had to let it warm up. Everything, I let it sit in the mechanic shop for like 5 hours in 70 degrees, which is, I don't know what the fuck that is for you guys. I'm not
even gonna bother anymore.
And 70 degrees, let's say 40 degrees Celsius. That sounds close enough to like 80 degrees me. I don't know. And it came back to life. It was like a happy puppy that got thawed out, like Captain America. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to abandon you. I thought I was gonna have to buy a new car. I was very happy. So happy that I was gonna save so much money that I spent a lot of money on diapers this week, Nick.
Oh, why?
I bought $80 of diapers because this morning my sister gave birth to her third child, and I was not there. I was like 20 feet away as they're doing the operation because it got complicated. It turned into a C-section. It was it was kind of spooky, but everything worked out fine. Yeah, she's sore as shit right now. She's very unhappy. If you were to take a sword slice to the gut, let your seed come out of the womb, or not the womb. Well, wound, yes, technically, and womb, but whatever. Double entendre. I don't know what kind of joke that is. Whatever. Fuck it. Got to hold my second niece for the first time, and she was less than 2 hours old. It was kind of weird holding a super newborn ass child in your arms, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. I jumped when it sneezed at me. Oh, it just scared because I'm a big guy.
What are they gonna do, Tyler? She's a little tiny little thing.
I'm the kind of guy that pours milk in my cereal and it catches fire for some reason. And so it's like I'm holding this. I have no idea what's gonna happen to it. It's like gonna turn into it's like Resident Evil 2. It just starts mutating. The head starts spinning. But none of that happened. The child is mostly intact. Thankfully, everything worked out good. It did not shit its pants on me, as tradition of the other two child that were my niece and nephew. And man, it was a good one. It was a fun experience. Unfortunately, my wife, who stayed up all night with her, she was dead tired. She's currently passed out. She might be listening in. I don't know. I am currently rocking on about maybe 4.5 hours of sleep, but that's okay. I've been sleep deprived plenty before, and I am rocking it right now. So
we're gonna power through it. All right, we are a video game podcast.
Yes, we are. In fact, have we talked about, we did talk about Pixel Spark, so we're on track. We're like 2% to the video game part.
2%, and we're gonna just jump right into what everybody's been playing. Kevin, as our guest, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a lot of Terraria recently.
All right, there we go. In case you thought Tyler did not like you, you can be guaranteed that he likes you now.
Oh, Kevin, you poor fool.
All right, so,
I see you're a man of taste. Tell me about it. What is Terraria?
What it is? Well, a lot of people call it like 2D Minecraft, which I would disagree because it has a lot of differences.
So like the boss system and crafting system for weapons and stuff.
You can still build houses and like mine for materials. Other than that, it's a lot different. I have about 500 hours on the game according to Steam.
Well, my young Padawan, I too have been a fine player of. I think Terraria is actually my most played game of all time, thanks to Steam's logistics. So RE Logic's game here, good old Terraria. Are you playing it single player right now, or are you playing it with friends?
No, I'm playing with a friend, and we're doing a modded playthrough.
Wait, a what playthrough?
Modded, so with mods.
And I got strong feelings about Terrarian mods. What kind of mods are you using though?
I'm using Spirit mod and Calamity mod, which are just going.
Okay, I was gonna say I have no fucking idea what they are. So
well, they basically add more items and bosses and NPCs, even biomes to the game.
Even biomes?
Yeah, not very big biomes, just a small portion of the map, but I think I do enjoy playing with mods, but sometimes it's nice to return to just the old-fashioned normal thing, because with mods you get that experience of you find an item and you're like, ooh, what's this? Is this good? What can I do with it? Whereas if you play normal Terraria, you mostly know what everything is already. True,
that is true. Vanilla Terraria, I feel like gets stagnant by the time you beat. I'm not gonna lie. About once a year, me and my friends will all team up and just go ape shit because we're like, Terraria's a thing. We're having fun again. But by the time we get to Plant Terra, everybody's like, "Can we do the next boss yet?" Just that kind of stuff. And it's like, come on, guys. And we get excited that we're gonna do the Moon Lord, right? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's so upsetting because, as Nick knows, I am feverishly in love with Terraria in every aspect of the word, and so is I think 20 million other people that bought the game. So,
yeah.
What else have you been playing though, man?
Well, I don't know how recent it was, but it went. Toby Fox tweeted a new game. Well, it was more of a demo of a game, Deltarune. And I think it's interesting because he said that Deltarune doesn't have anything to do with Undertale, but on the website to Deltarune it says that you should play Undertale before you play Deltarune.
It's interesting because Deltarune was made by Toby Fox, who also made obviously Undertale. According to the Wikipedia article, it's considered part of the Undertale series, so I'm not sure what's up with the logic here.
I don't know, it might have been because he didn't want people to expect another Undertale. Because to be honest, it wasn't as deep and like as good of a story as Undertale.
Fair enough. It did come out last year on Halloween, actually. So, but it's also technically just chapter 1. So,
yeah.
I mean, I wonder how that's going to work. It's technically then, episodic, but does that mean that he has like 5 chapters already planned out, or is he just calling it like the first in the series? I'm not sure what this all represents here. Now, did you play Undertale, Kevin?
Yeah, no, actually I didn't. I watched a playthrough of it.
It's okay. I won't judge you because I'm pretty sure I'm the same thing, because I've seen, I think I own it, but I've either played some of it and watched the rest of it, because I have no idea. I'm honestly thinking I watched most of it because there's just so much shit, different directions you can go with the pacifist route and all that stuff. And yeah. I was the kind of guy who was like murder them all kind of guy, which was terrible, but whatever. It's part of the game. Deltarune, how many hours do you think you put into it so far?
I finished the story, the first part of the story, and might have taken like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, that's really short.
Yeah, it was, but I don't know. At the start I was really excited, but eventually I just want to know how this ends, so I just rushed through it all.
Don't you hate that, where you get into a game and it has like a good strong start, but it starts to drag to the point where it's like, I just want the story beats. Just let me know how this finishes, because I'm one step away from just YouTubing the damn cutscene just to see what's going on here, which it's happened to me before plenty of times. I'm not gonna lie. Nick, have you heard of Deltarune before? Because this is the first time I've ever picked it up.
No, same. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I know of Undertale. I know how much people love Undertale. I downloaded Undertale. I played it. It didn't really stick with me, or at least I wasn't trying enough. Mind you, it was also on my Mac, so I really wasn't bothered there. I have full respect for this guy though, Toby Fox. Undertale was made completely by him, in a basement. Not a basement, I think it was his garage, and he was just working on it all day, and then he put it out. And so for him to try something new, expand on that, put out this, and it's for free too. I can only imagine how much he's made off Undertale for him to be able to put this out for free, or what else he's working on.
True, very true. And I don't see any mention about the whether or not the same artist for Undertale was the person that's in charge of Deltarune, which this thing is very kind to point out to me is a anagram of Undertale, Deltarune.
So, that would make sense.
The person I'm talking about is Tioki Chain or Chang is the person that's in charge of a lot of the art design for it, alongside Toby Fox too. She's more known for her name Temmie, which brings the name into Undertale quite a few times, especially during the Temmie sections, which is interesting to say the least about it. Man, I haven't thought about Undertale in like 3 days, man. Now I'm thinking about it again. Do you think it's a game worth revisiting, replaying?
Probably if you're into indies. Yeah, I mean, if you're into indies, RPGs. I mean, actually, like Tyler, that you'd probably be a better fit for a game like Undertale because you grew up with games that looked like Undertale.
Are you trying to call me old?
Indirectly, yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me try to ask that question again, differently though. Are you calling me old? Yes.
Oh. Final answer. And I'm locking it.
Lock it down. Da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm sorry. I should not have called you a gendered insult, sir. Motherfucker. There we go. That's not.
Listen, I'm a snowflake and I'm offended. Any other games that you've been playing recently, Kevin?
Yeah, Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley! I love Stardew Valley so much. What a beautiful game.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes, Tyler. Yes, okay. Tyler. Ask Amanda, Tyler. Amanda will let you know whether Stardew Valley is a beautiful game or not, Tyler.
So, Kevin, just for reference, I've never touched a single minute of Stardew Valley, but I've watched my wife play a lot of it. Like, a lot of it. Like, gross amounts of it, where I come home every day and that's what she's, playing. I talk to her on the phone, that's what she's playing. And I'm worried that it's going to give me the Fallout 3 effect, where all my friends were playing Fallout 3 and I had to watch, like, almost 50 to 100 hours worth of it. And so when I finally play it, I'm like, I'm sick of this shit. I played it already, through my mind. But prove me wrong. Is Stardew Valley a fun game to play?
It is. I think it's a game.
That's a well argument. Let's wrap it up. No, Kevin, how many hours have you put into this kind of game? Because we can easily go into the hundreds, couldn't we?
107.
God damn! Are you playing this on the PC then?
Yeah.
Oh, what year are you? Sorry, go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's about how long it took me. It took maybe 90 hours for me to complete the game. Well, complete. You can't really complete it, but like to get the final thing.
You get the credits?
Yeah, basically.
I would say I don't even know if you get the credits or not. Maybe there is no credits.
I still haven't gotten the credits, and I'm about 120 hours in. But that's because I've started over 3 farms, I think.
You guys got school and shit. How can you spend this much time on a game? Go outside, live a little.
No sleep.
Yeah.
An answer.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh boy, look at you, Nick. You're teaching them fucking Who Wants to Be a Millionaire level jokes here. I heard that locked in. Final answer. Okay.
I mean, somebody has to take over for us when we die.
I'm only cool if I stand outside in this fucking weather right now. So I'm the old grandpa over here that's like, hey, this Undertale game. Oh, let me get the Bengay on the elbows. Oh, this Undertale game reminds me of back when I used to play. And before it was just hoops and sticks. But, the 16-bit game might be pretty good.
Tyler, you have a game that you've been waiting for.
Stardew Valley is a fun game, okay? I'm glad you're having a good time. I really want to pick it up, but I've been distracted by, like, the Barry Bonds heavy hitter of video games right now. A game that I've been waiting for well over 12 years, and goddamn is it here.
So Tyler and I discussed this a little bit before. This week's not going to be too heavy on this particular game that Tyler's going to be bringing up. So next week, expect to have a full-fledged, glorified, I hope not disappointing review of Tyler.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts is a fun game, which, it's weird because outside the US, whenever I bring this up with some people, they're like, Kingdom Hearts what? And it freaks me the fuck out because everybody around me like goes apeshit. Like they swing their arms in the air like one of those used car salesmen flappy things. Kingdom Hearts 3! But then for example, I went to Kevin, it's like Kingdom Hearts 3, and he's like, what's I've heard of Kingdom Hearts, but I have no idea what it is. I'm like, oh, blasphemy.
It's purely because I think it's purely because no other nation in the world has such a strong connection to the characters in Kingdom Hearts 3 as Americans do, specifically the Disney characters.
Japan, but okay, fair enough. Let's say so, as with Disney characters mixed in with Final Fantasy style settings, it's a wild ride. And for those who are worried, like, oh shit, Tyler's about to go into spoilers on Kingdom Hearts 3. I will not. I will not discuss anything that happens in terms of the story and whatnot. So rest assured, next week, balls are in your court. You're gonna have to run. I'm sorry, but we're gonna talk a little bit. We're not gonna, talk about, the final ending because I'm not even that far in. I'm 10 hours into Kingdom Hearts right now. I'm on what I believe is the 3rd or 4th world, and I have a numerous amount to say about Sora and the team. Nick, you told me you had some impressions being told to you from other people. Could you remind me what they were?
In general, the vibe that I was getting was that gameplay-wise, Kingdom Hearts 3 was quite polished, quite finished, well worth the wait. Story-wise, at the end, everything finally ties together.
And this could very well be true. In terms of how the way everything played out, for like the combat system and whatnot, beautiful. By far much better than even Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, a lot of people, including myself, was like, Kingdom Hearts 2 had the best combat system in the whole thing. I agree. Kingdom Hearts 3 manages to take it one step further. Honestly, I think the biggest thing for me would be the form change. In Kingdom Hearts 2, for the most part, you had like Valor form, Wisdom form, Final form, and all that good stuff. You could mess around and get superpowers and stuff. But in here, you have a secondary form that you can activate after you hit an enemy enough times with a given Keyblade. I thought this was cool. From what I can tell so far, the Keyblades aren't stronger over time naturally. And so that means if you get a Keyblade that looks lame at the very end of the game, you don't have to use it if it has higher stats, because it's not. The only way you're going to be able to raise the stats of your Keyblades is by items that you'll get either by luck or by story beats in the game. So you'll, from the very beginning of the game to the very end, you'll pick a Keyblade that you'll really like, and then you can beef it up as you see fit. Now, the nice thing about this is each Keyblade has a second form change. Like I said, you beat up an enemy 10 or 15 times, and all of a sudden you'll be able to activate the secondary effect. For example, right now, I have a Keyblade that I'm using. I activate secondary effect. It turns into a big ass hammer. And I'm like, okay. Cool. And so I'm going from like, beating somebody up with my little Keyblade sword thingy. All of a sudden it turns into fucking hammer time and whack-a-mole with these Heartless. And that was cool. And there's something weird about this particular Keyblade. It has a second form. I'm like, what the fuck? I hit an enemy enough with the hammer. I'm like, okay, what happens if I hit, the button again? It turns into a fucking drill. And I'm like, sure, okay, yeah, we're fucking drilling. So meanwhile, I just had fun with hammer time, and now I get a time limit to where I'm, drilling around with this weird claw shot, evil looking thing that would make a Excadrill very, very proud. And I'm just murdering. Beautiful animation with the destruction of the ground and stuff as Sora is tearing things up, and I really appreciate it. Other things that are throwing me off a little bit would be like skill links, which are essentially summons. In the original games, you could summon like usual Disney characters. This one, I haven't really found one I liked so far. I've only gotten 2. One of them, the first one is a Dream Eater, which you have no fucking idea what that even is unless you play Dream Drop Distance. So goodbye for that one. And the other one is from a movie I haven't really seen, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, I want to talk about it, but what's up?
I'm curious as to what movie that is.
What's it called? They just had a new one that came out.
Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, let's just say screw it, Wreck-It Ralph. So Wreck-It Ralph is interesting as a summon because you think, you hop on Wreck-It Ralph, he's just going to punch everybody, right? No.
Ralph Disney?
Yeah. Did you not see Wreck-It Ralph, breaks the internet? And
no, I did. The Disney princesses. Oh, that was such a good scene. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And so instead of having him be just a brawler, you're sitting on top of like a giant ogre. He is... it would be great to have Shrek, but that is owned by DreamWorks, which is not Disney. Oh, well.
Get out of my swamp.
Yes, queen. He puts a cannon down. He gives you like 5-6 cannons you can place on different locations, and you got to put them near the enemies, but line up to where the first shot's going to shoot at the second cannon. And it's just like so technical, and it's like, I just want to punch stuff. And so the hammer drill combo thing is just making me all sorts of happy. But the only time I ever use a skill link or a summon is it heals you to full health. And so if Donald's saying go eat my ass or I ain't healing you up, I had to say okay, fine, I'll summon a skill link and heal myself up. Wall climbing Naruto style is now a thing. Apparently you can do that in some of the things. So vertically scaling up a cliff during a boss fight, interesting. Trying to attack enemies on the wall, which it instantly stops you from climbing the wall and sends you plummeting to your death, also interesting. I haven't seen any like completely just like you're so screwed over kind of thing, but it's been fun. It's an interesting way of scaling situations where instead of just running up a very long hill along the mountain, you can actually just climb the cliff face. In terms of the story I've seen so far, I warned you, Nick. I fucking warned you like a son of a bitch. They started talking about stuff straight off the get-go that if you never touched a Kingdom Hearts game, you're like, I mean, because they're talking about, for example, we have no idea what it is. It's said in in the beginning, like pre-trailer and all that stuff, a black box. What the fuck is the black box? These characters like, I'm looking for the black box. And I was like, what's the black box?
I feel like you've mentioned it to me last week and I've completely forgotten it by now.
It's okay. It's okay. So the story can be understood without understanding a lot of it as you play this game, but at the same time, there's no context to half this shit. So it's like playing Metal Gear Solid 4 without looking at anything else. And it's like, you could play the game, you can beat it, but you're gonna have a bad time. And right. I feel bad for the people that they're enjoying the game, but they have no idea what the fuck is going on, like in the finer scheme of things. The worlds I played so far, the first one, I'm not gonna lie, they called it a tutorial world. It went so far, Nick, that they called it Kingdom Hearts 2.9 in the game. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is Kingdom Hearts 3. Why do you give me a 2.9? No, they gave me a tutorial world. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute.
All right, so moving on. That's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
And before it gets a little longer.
Oh yeah, I will too. Yeah, cut me off, please.
Before we talk about other games that we've been playing, because there's a game that we played together this week that I swore I would never play, but somehow I played it anyways. But before we do get to that, I wanted to ask Kevin, what other games do you generally play? Like, what are your kinds of games? Are these like Terraria, Stardew Valley, Pixel Spark? Are these your kinds of games, or are you into shooters? Are you into MOBAs? Are you into RTSs?
I can play any game, but the games I usually play nowadays are Terraria, Pixel Spark, and then I also play League of Legends from time to time.
Oh, okay. All right. I strongly dislike MOBAs. I find MOBAs very, very difficult to play. I can watch them.
He's strongly voiced his scorn over games like League of Legends since we started podcasting together. I
can watch them competitively because the game's on a whole different level. It's on a whole different pace. But to sit and actually play through a MOBA, it bores me. But no, that's cool. We always have interesting matchups here. I play a lot of shooters. Tyler plays a lot of weird other games. A lot of Nintendo games.
Nick, he called me old.
He doesn't play. He doesn't play the good games.
I'll fight you. 1v1 me.
But Tyler, what do you have any other games you want to talk about before we get to that game we played together?
Of course. Just to recap on Destiny Child, my
worst view
about the game being walled at this point is still completely correct. I realize I am now having to resort completely to just daily missions and stuff like that, and it's been throwing me off because, honestly, Kevin, have you heard of Destiny Child? Oh, Kevin's thinking. Kevin's thinking hard.
I have not, no.
It's a mobile game, and I won't give you the hot details because I just burnt the fuck out of you with Kingdom Hearts 3. But I'm like 35 to 40 hours in, and unfortunately, even with the special events I've been going on with Miku Hatsune and all that shit, I've only been able to put like maybe 1 to 2 hours in at a day at the very most, just because I've done all the content that they have available. And unfortunately, with that, Destiny Child is starting to might come to a close at this rate. I'm not sure what's going to happen until we talk
put
about
out new content.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, it's still a great game. It's just I feel like, you know, at this point, Nick, I got 2 level or 6-star characters and then 3 5-stars that are maxed out right now, and so my only enjoying playing, like even if I played the missions for experience, my characters don't gain experience anymore. So it's like, what's the point? You know, get more characters, spend money. No, I will not spend money on this fucking game.
I'm just glad it hasn't pulled you into the money spending part of it yet.
You know, it's funny with Kevin here. He doesn't know the full level of it. I spent a lot of money on the server for generations, just, you know, buy people ranks and stuff. And yeah, here I am, you know, saying I'll never spend a goddamn penny on this game because, you know, I'm frugal and stuff. And meanwhile, it's like Destiny key, Destiny key, Destiny key. And
yeah, well, you bought a rank from one of my friends, didn't you?
I don't know your ranks, your friend, but
I believe he talks about you buying him a rank for in-game money. He owes you money, I think. Like,
oh, does he? Cool, because I forgot. Let me know what his in-game name is, please.
Yeah, I'll send it to you when.
Yeah, you've just lost a friend. Your friend's like, fucking Kevin. Why the fuck
I'm gonna have to bring it
up? Yeah, but it's funny because he is also the type of guy that plays a lot of mobile games, and he also spends money on them, which I strongly disagree with, because I can get if you find a fun game on your phone to play.
Yeah.
That you spend a lot of time on, but spending money on a mobile game just sounds strange to me.
Absolutely. And Brandon's watching now. Okay, so I agree with you, Kevin. First off, after Clash of Clans, I believe it's called. Yes, Clash of Clans.
It was Clash of Clans.
I think I dropped like almost $200 on that game during my early days of truck driving. And I, after a while, I kind of looked at the big picture. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Because I'm doing this to make myself feel better, but I'm not making enough progress to make it feel better. And it's like, at this point, it's like you're gonna have to spend $100 just to feel good over a phone mobile game. It's like I had to look very hard in the mirror, and I've now hit the point where I've decided that the only time I spend money is if I'm wrapping up a game and I spent 10-20 hours on it. I had a great time. I'll kind of do like a thank you thing and just buy like a $20 thing and then just let it sit there, because once you hit that paywall, you got to decide if you're going to invest money into it, because you're going to, you fall for the bait and all that stuff. It's still weird for me because Destiny Child still hasn't really gave me that money bait yet. Almost 35-40 hours in it. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
You've just run out of content.
And honestly, it's tempting to do that, but the bait is like $40-50 minimum for most of the stuff, and it's like, that's a hell of that's golden S rank bait right there. I'm not gonna fall for that shit. So it's like, I guess it's free. I'm still joking about the idea where if they charged me $20 for the rest of the story, they'd get 40 out of me, so I could play it twice. But Nick,
hi.
Nick, we teamed up and played a game together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Funnily enough, Kevin mentioned it. I downloaded League, a League of Legends, a MOBA.
The League of Legends, the finest and #1 MOBA in all of world history. Yes,
I'll take your word for it.
Don't take my word for it, because I don't believe it either. Like, I don't think there's such. I don't even know who would what would get the title. Not Dota 2 for sure, but
I only agreed to play ARAMs because they're shorter. They're a lot more chaotic. They're a lot more just purely because I wouldn't have to play as long. And I played with Tyler, and he pulled in a friend who pulled in another friend, and then he left, and it was just the 3 of us for a while, and then eventually we burned ourselves out. But I was having fun. It was my first time playing second time playing League if I don't count the first time I gave it a shot and then never played it again.
Now, the interesting thing about ARAMs, all random, all middle, is with a regular game, you might be either by yourself or with one other person. You got to roll, you got to fulfill that role in order to win the lane and all that stuff. And, eventually you'll get the team fights and all that stuff. But in ARAMs, there's only one thing you got to worry about. Well, two things. Don't die / kill them and destroy the tower. And so with that, it's simple right there. They randomly hand you a character, go ape shit. Everybody's together. You don't have to worry about, unless you step, 50 feet forward saying, hey, where's my team, guys? And then you just, get exploded or something. Other than that, it's fairly not safe, but simplified in your goals. And so it's a great way to learn characters and randomize it. And you were telling me there's a couple of characters that you kind of enjoyed and you felt like he got a good wrap around. I remember two of them, which was Quinn and Brand.
Yes, Falcon Lady and Fire Guy. They were fantastic.
Falcon Lady, first off, the Falcon is named Valor. Thank you.
All right, so Falcon Lady was really fun, really nice and mobile, ranged character. I had to remind myself that she's a ranged character because I'm very much an aggressive player and I'll go in. But then I had yourself, Tyler, and I can't remember your friend's name, but constantly reminding me and giving me tips, David, as we played, of positioning and what my characters do. So that really helped. And then figuring out how my abilities work together. So yeah, I fit in well, like my kind of playstyle fit in well with Falcon Lady and Fire Guy. Fire Guy was a glass cannon. I believe that was the term that you used. And I really liked his abilities. His abilities were interesting, and you really had to be wary of timing them right, because a lot of the explosions, like there was a lot of what's the word I'm looking, cast times. There were cast times for a lot of his spells, so you had to predict to some extent where your opponents would go. And I found that really interesting. Because the thing that bothers me the most about MOBAs is usually that they're click for action, and I don't like not being able to move with using keys. Like I dislike that.
I'm wondering right now too if it now defaults to what is called smart casting, where if you press a button, let's say Brand's ult, you remember where you shoot a fireball and it starts bouncing along. Normally before you would press R and then you would click on the character. But if you're hovering over the character while you press R, it would automatically select it and then cast it instantly.
Oh yeah, it's been doing that.
Okay, so
yeah, I had that functionality turn on. Yeah,
it's so nice, man. Thank you. I was worried for your sake, like because that's the millisecond of time that you would be spending on was are you willing to play that again sometime?
Oh yeah, I had fun with ARAM, but like it's not something I would play alone. If somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to play this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play." I only play with buds, grab a beer or so, have a good time with it. Because at that point, I just didn't default to caring about winning or losing. I just defaulted to like trying to understand how these things work, because there's really without any kind of guidance, there's no tutorial, there's no introduction to the item shop, so you sort of have to sit there and figure it out, and just like figuring out there's so many different heroes, and so figuring out how each of their abilities work together, and so I was just for the most part happy. I went by which hero I found the most attractive. Usually, that's how I pick my hero. I'm not gonna. I have no reason to hide anything about it. I just like, oh, she looks pretty, I'm gonna pick her, and then I played her. That's I think how I got Janna the one time, and I just didn't really like gel well with her abilities. They weren't for me.
If it makes you feel better, I think 80% of the American audience follows that same rule, where it has to be a pretty character. That's why. Ezreal is keeping up with the rest of them.
Because when you kick ass, you want to look good. You know what I mean? Like the cool hero guy is not looking like shit, or he's not ugly when you're
hey, speak for yourself. Urgot is hilarious to play, and I hope one day you'll get that position. Urgot has a finishing move where he shoots out it's a fucking 6-legged motherfucker. It looks like a horror movie character.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen him in competitive play.
And his ult shoots the chain out, and if it hits a player, if he gets that player under like 20% health or something, he drags that motherfucker in instantly and just gnaws him to pieces, and it's hilarious. And you don't look pretty or anything like that, but goddamn, you look scary. And so I got respect for those kind of characters. There are some characters that just seem kind of boring for the most part, but they serve a different role. Like when I think of bland people, I think of like Zach, who's a giant green blob essentially. But at the same time, you do Alt 3 or whatever, you turn into this giant balloon thing just to taunt somebody. And everybody has a different kind of style, I'd like to think. But,
Kevin, what do you generally play when you're playing League?
You like what game mode or
heroes wise?
Like what characters do you like to play?
I have been playing Thresh as a main character for like a year.
Really?
Yeah, I find him
over here.
I find him like really satisfying to play. Like it just feels good whenever you hit a hook or predict a flash or something like that.
Now, Nick, do you know who we're talking about with Thresh?
No.
Okay, so he has the two most notable things I'd like to think is he has a hook almost like Blitzcrank, but instead of a full-on pull-in, he tugs him towards himself, or he can swing himself towards the enemy. The second thing I would like to say, would probably the best thing, is his lantern. His lantern, he can toss far away, so what he would do is he would toss the lantern behind him for somebody to grab it, throw his hook, land the hook, and then all of a sudden two players just are suddenly up to the
I remember, I think we played against a Thresh once. I remember the annoying idiot. Oh, yes.
They call him an annoying idiot.
See, because I get competitive, Tyler, you know this. So I got really quiet, and Tyler was upset. I was worried that I was mad or upset, or the fact that it's a MOBA, and I've voiced my clear disdain. But
yeah, you went like Super Saiyan salty or something. Like
no, boy. But so that usually you'd be right. When I do go quiet, I do tend to. It's usually because I'm upset, but it's also because I'm concentrating, focusing, trying to understand how things are working, just trying to focus on the game. Because if you're not used to MOBAs as well, there's just so much going on the screen. And it's so easy to lose track of your character. And I'll be honest, I had no idea what was happening most fights. I'd come in, I just walk into a team fight because I died, I'm getting farmed. I'd walk into a team fight, press on one character, and all of a sudden I'd get a double kill and be like, it's sick, and stealing like a pentakill from David. I think I did that once or twice.
Yes, you did. It's interesting because David was trying to teach you what you could do. Yeah, I was trying to teach you what they could do, and you should watch out for. I'm like, you see that Blitzcrank motherfucker? He has a mean hook. You stay away from that son of a bitch.
Was actually very good support coming from both sides, and it made it easy. It made it pretty seamless, and I was enjoying myself. I think I was also just tired because it was pretty late at night, but also I was like paying attention. I was like, all right, this is something new. Let's learn what's going on here. Let's figure it out. Because the only other MOBA that I'd played for a significant amount of time, and in this case significant is about 4 hours, was Heroes of the Storm. And Heroes of the Storm is a lot simpler. There's an objective that like a clear objective outside of like your traditional lanes. But yeah, that's League of Legends.
Yes, it was. I hope we play this a little bit more and see if you can find a character that you really like and maybe try in a more serious fashion. Serious is a loose term, in the game. But
also, I'm still waiting on my $20. But anyways, moving on.
That is right. Shit, I owe you $20. I told you I'd give you $20 if you play time on it. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I have played some games this week.
Yeah, you did.
I actually had more time to play games this week. So apart from League of Legends, I'm going to start with Destiny 2. So, as we all know, I'm a diehard Destiny 2 fan. I will talk up Destiny 2. I've never heard of it. It's a brand new game, came out by Bungie. It actually launched in September. It was called Destiny 2 Forsaken.
Cool.
D2.
It's weird. Like, you'd think they'd start with Destiny 1. They just called it Destiny 2.
No, they just went Destiny 2.
Yeah, make it Destiny 1. That's weird.
Destiny 1. I took quite a bit of a break from my regular Destiny 2 schedule. Like I'll hop on maybe once or twice a week now.
Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick. I'm just playing other games.
Are you sure? I didn't think that was normal.
Yeah, but there was a new quest that dropped this past Tuesday that brought back a beloved weapon from Destiny 1 called the Last Word. It is a PvP weapon. I obtained it with some friends, and it has made the game very fresh. It's made it so much fun right now, and I can't believe that they brought this gun back. This gun is okay. So to give you an idea, it is a hand cannon with 8 rounds, and all you have to do is hold down the trigger. It fires full auto. It's 244 rounds per minute, so it fires very fast and hits very hard. And you don't aim down sights or anything; you just hip fire it, right? And it was meant to combat shotgun rushers or Titan shoulder charges. So Titans have a one-shot melee ability called shoulder charge, where if they get too close and they melee you with it, you die.
Very satisfying too.
Yeah, it is very satisfying, but very annoying to play against. Very satisfying to use. And so this was made to counter shoulder chargers and shotgunners. Then they nerfed it in D1 because we had snowflakes crying about how it was too strong and how they couldn't do anything just because they couldn't aim as good. So it got nerfed into the ground. Then they brought it back up a little bit, but it was never the same as it was. But it has a very particular sound and a very particular feel, and Bungie captured that exactly in D2 with this release. And me and my friends, I have a friend who generally gets very bored of Destiny PvP.
Is that even possible? I didn't know it would.
Oh yeah, no, I get bored of Destiny PvP right now
too.
And we've been playing for hours, just pulling out this gun, seeing it twirl in our hand because it has a unique animation because it is an exotic weapon, and then just firing it. It feels good. It takes me back to the days of watching and learning.
Does it twirl when you shoot?
No, it just twirls.
It'd be funny if it just really like you're constantly twirling in your finger and just fire at the enemy. Can you imagine that?
No, you fired by fanning the hammer. That's the perk that it's called. And so
you twirl it by holding your hand up.
It takes me
or
back.
If you're classic, you could do hold your do the pointer finger to the thumb, like, hey, see my balls? Do. Okay, sorry. For the audio listeners, I'm making very vulgar hand symbols and suggestions here. Just regard me, please.
Yeah, the lack of sleep is getting to Tyler.
What are you talking about? I am doing fantastic. I feel like a new orangutan.
Real Crafty, streamer that I spend a lot of time in his channel, in his community. He was infamous for last word sniping. And that's how I learned how to play in D1, just by watching him. And to see the gun back, to see that playstyle back, to see him use it, has just made me very happy and very hopeful for what Destiny 2 might lead to, not what it might become in the short term, because I don't think a lot is going to change. Not yet anyways. But that happened. I'm very happy with that. I've not been sleeping very well this week because I've been staying up late nights, working on school assignments, on the side playing Destiny 2 and Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves? You played without me.
I'm playing a lot of Sea of Thieves without you. I'm about halfway to Pirate Legend.
You keep saying that. You act like it's like saying level 50 in RuneScape is halfway to the Cape. No, that's not how it works, my friend. It's gonna be a slow grind.
It is a pretty long grind, but also I don't care for it. Not yet anyways, because I'm rolling with some friends who are Pirate Legend, and so I think I've done 3 Athenas already.
I understand I'm not Pirate Legend, but I still want to play with you.
Not to sit and brag here about how much I've made in one night. No, so I just hop on late after I do some schoolwork, and then I get a message, you want to hop on and sail something? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'm down. And then I usually join in the middle of a Skull Fort or the middle of an Athena's voyage, and so I just get to profit of other people's hard work. I've just been having fun with it. I'm rolling with people who are Pirate Legend. They know exactly what to do, so I just become submissive. I tell them, just tell me what to do. I think I'm sitting in the last 3 days of playing, I've made 190,000.
Oh, that's not too bad. I was expecting you to say like $500,000 or something like that. I'm like, You motherfucker. You left me for this? You left me for the money?
I've just not been playing as much as they have. My friend's been grinding the fuck out of this game. I think one of my friends made Dustin. We played Deceit with Dustin. I think he made
yeah, it's my good friend Dustin, who would never betray me.
half $500,000 in one night. So they're
Nice.
playing hard at it. Now I'm just there, kind of like I don't really have any aspirations within the game or within grinding out the levels. I'm just there to have fun with friends. The one fun experience I did have this week, we were just sailing, dude. We were just sailing, minding our own business, on our way to finish the final chapter of this Athena's voyage, and then we're in a galleon, and then this brig just rolls up. We stopped to get some supplies, or we stopped somewhere for some reason. I can't remember why. No. We just fought a meg. We stopped to fight a meg, killed a megalodon, went in to get the loot, get back on board, and then we looked out on the right side of our ship, and we see a brig just sailing right at us. It's just, and I'm not talking
about the T-bone you kind of thing.
It was in ramming distance, and we're like, all right then. And so we all go switch to like our PvP loadouts, load up on cannonballs, get rammed, and then we just get on board and we farm them so that we could steal their supplies, because they had like 100 wooden planks, like 100 plus cannonballs, and we were running low. But they were good people. They were really fun people, because as they were coming in for the ram, all I could hear was, yeah, ahoy there. And I'm like, all right, these guys know what's up. And they wanted it, and then we're sorry, but we're going to sink you. And we sank them. We kept them afloat for about 10 minutes so that we could take all their supplies while they kept respawning and we kept killing them.
That's brutal, man. That's brutal as shit. Why the hell would they just go?
Listen, we defended ourselves, all right, Tyler? That was we were standing our ground.
I mean, with the whole upcoming update, which sounds like there's going to be PvP-based quests to give out soon. So that's something to look forward to. So I can't really, give you shit for, fighting another person and what is mostly a PvP-based multiplayer game in Sea of Thieves. But
imagine getting upset at the fact that you're in a pirate game and you're expecting people to treat others like with decency. That's what somebody said to me at Davy Jones' locker. He's like, you really should be nicer. I'm like, what do you mean nicer in a pirate game? Do you understand what you are? Do you understand what the game is? I'm not gonna be nice.
There's honor among thieves.
Never.
There's gotta be times where you gotta
$50 to steal shit, Tyler.
Okay, Nick, fun little story time here. We're gonna go back to RuneScape days. There would be a time where I had a lot of stuff on me, and I was running through the goddamn wilderness where anybody could pick me off. And so, I accidentally, I'm being attacked by the Chaos Elemental, scaring the shit out of me. I'm low on health. And I run into an area where there's rune ore being mined by a guy who could clearly just blow me out of the water by staring at me long enough. He could easily murder me, but he has his goal, which is to mine that rune ore. And I have my goal to not die and lose all my shit.
Right.
Did he kill me? Fuck yeah, he did. He stole all my shit. So yes, I understand what you're talking about. But he could have easily
not.
Yeah, let me go.
I'm that guy. I don't care. That's what you. That's funny. That's what you sign yourself up for when you enter an area like the wilderness, or you enter a game like Sea of Thieves. Anything can happen at any possible time, and I think we're gonna have this argument all the time, and all you want to do is just make gold and just sail around. And I'm like, all right, where's the next fucking victim?
I mean, every fucking time on Sea of Thieves, the safest thing is to assume if they're coming towards you, they want to do harm to you. Yeah. Which stinks, because if you're just going to the same island or you're trying to do the same goal or something, it's like, well, you have to be mean to each other, because if you try to be friendly most of the time, it doesn't work out, because either A, they're going to be aggressive to you, or B, they're lying to you so they can be even more aggressive to you at a closer distance. And
all right, so I'll throw one wholesome story your way. I was on a galleon, and I was joined while my friends were in the middle of getting an achievement for getting all your lanterns to be different colors. So how you die, depending on how you die, you get a different color flame from the ship, the Davy Jones's ship. Oh. And so if you light all the lanterns with all the different colors of the different possible ways you die, you get an achievement called Festival Party Boat. And so we did that, and then we were sailing to an outpost. We saw a little sloop there. We're like, we're running low on supplies. Let's see how much they have. We jump on, kill them all, take all their supplies.
Sounds
and then
so far.
wait, just wait. And then they respawn, and then they kill one of us. We kill them both. And then my friend who died, he was talking to them. He's like, all right, listen. Get back, when you respawn, get back onto the dock. We'll take all your supplies, and we'll give you all the lights. And we gave them the achievement for free. We just traded supplies. And then we just sailed. Honest to God, we just sailed off after that. After they filled up all their colors, we just sailed off.
I'm going to give you an analogy here. You tell me if this sounds correct. I come up to you with a gun. And I say, buy my little thing of cheese here for $50. And not only are you going to get some badass cheese, you live. And then you buy my cheese because you don't want to die, and then I take off into the night. That feels entirely wholesome, Nick. Good job, Nick. I'm so proud of you, Nick. Wow, you really put the honor in pirates, you know?
For Sea of Thieves, tell me that isn't wholesome.
That is something.
Yeah.
Kevin, what do you does it sound like he did a good deed that day, Kevin? Or does it feel like what's your thoughts here?
If you think about what they could have done, they could have just killed them and left.
So instead of being
I don't play Sea of Thieves, so I'm not sure what's going on. But I assume they could have just killed them and left and took their stuff.
So when you kill somebody, when they die, they go to like a little waiting area where it takes a few seconds before they respawn, and they respawn back on their ship. So if we were truly like assholes, we could have just kept killing them because they'll keep respawning on their ship, and they'll only stop when we get rid of that ship by sinking it. So we're like, all right, just stop attacking us. We'll stop. We'll take your supplies. You can respawn safely. Take all the colors of the lights that you want, and then we'll let you go.
It feels like you're a bully with a silver lining at this point.
Which is better than just a plain old bully.
Okay. When somebody beats me up in high school, but at the end of the day, he gives me a piece of gum, I'm not as excited. I mean, you're right. I guess I'll be like, okay, this guy has a redeeming feature, but he's still going to beat the shit out of me the next day for my lunch money. But he's going to give me another stick of gum just to, you know. That's also known as Stockholm Syndrome, where you're captive to a system or a place, and you're so used to them that when they're finally nice to you, that you're like, I'm in love with him.
Whatever floats your boat, Tyler. But
it's still a better love story than Twilight, so what the fuck ever. Let us go. Yes.
So this is an interesting one. I had to think about this a little bit. What is the most interesting plot hole you have seen in a game? Now, by this, do you mean just like something that leaves unanswered questions, or something that just makes absolutely no sense? You found it to be completely fascinating, or?
Well, if that's the case, then it sounds like it's not really a plot hole if it doesn't even make sense. There's a missing part of the story in a game that just never gets explained because somebody forgot, or they just didn't have the materials to go further with the details.
Okay.
If you want, I can give an example, or what I thought.
Okay, let's start with you.
Sure. So let's look at World of Warcraft. The game in question, or the expansion, is Cataclysm. In Cataclysm, there is an underwater world. I don't know what the name of it is. Kevin, have you ever played WoW?
I played until like level 10.
Wait, you played until level 10?
Yeah.
Well, you got further than a lot of people.
I guess.
That's further than I ever got.
So this underwater world, there's a dungeon where Neptune is being harassed by the old gods. He's like, hey, just let me believe, or let me, leave me alone. And at the end of the dungeon, he, empowers you to fight off this old giant ass octopus. But after you defeat it, the octopus captures him and drags him out of the dungeon. Now, later on in a raid, this Neptune guy was supposed to be corrupted and stuff, and you're supposed to free him of his prison and all that stuff. but for reasons that raid never happened. So in this World of Warcraft lore universe, he gets captured by an octopus and then is never seen again. And it's like that's kind of important of a detail. What's going to happen to him, and that is my idea of what a plot hole would be.
Okay. Kevin, do you have any ideas of something from games you've played?
As Nick frantically searches for games that have serious plot holes in them.
Well, I did play an MMORPG called Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
You guys know Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that it's like space battles. No, it's called Star Wars. Is that
the one with the
J.J.
Vulcans and
Abrams?
they go live long and prosper?
Live longer and succeed in life in a meaningful fashion. Yeah, Star Wars. The Old Republic. Was it an MMO? I guess it could be, right? Obviously, Okay, so Star Wars: The Old Republic. Tell me about this plot hole you're talking about here.
Yeah, well, if you buy a subscription, which is like $15 a month, you get this like yeah, I know. You get this like new parts of the game, like a new storyline, where I don't know, you're looking for an emperor, and then when you find him, you get to he turns out to be super powerful, so he captures you and your friends, and then you get to decide whether you want to kill the emperor or listen to him. Either way, if you kill him, well, obviously you kill him. If you listen to him, your friend will kill him, and his soul will go into you, and he'll get stuck in your head, and he can speak to you, but everyone else thinks he's dead.
Move.
So, the reason I brought this up is because I have no idea why they were looking for this emperor. They just throw that.
He's the dark side, though. He's a baddie, right? You don't have to have Arthas of the Lich King level details as to why you need to hunt down a bad guy. It's because if the government tells you he's bad, surely he's bad, right? Just
obviously.
Do what the government does. Tells you. Obey. No, you're right. There's a weird plot hole. It's like, has there been a good dark side person so far? I'm sure there's got to be a story somewhere where somebody uses the dark side for good reasons.
Do you mean in the game or just Star Wars in general?
Just Star Wars. Even in a Star Wars book at this point, I feel like there's got to be something like that, because everybody, if you use the dark side, you're clearly evil and you have to use maliciousness, all that stuff. But has there ever been a time where, I know there's gray Jedis who kind of use both sides of the Force typically, and is considered neutral. So I guess technically that's one way of viewing it. But you never hear about a good Jedi using Force lightning, and it just messes with me. Yep, hot takes right there. Okay. Anyways, Nick, are you done pondering on all of your knowledge and finding a plot hole in your head?
I was just looking up the release dates for some games so that I could be sure that dropping spoilers wouldn't be an issue. Jack and Daxter series, the original trilogy. So this encompasses Jack and Daxter 1, 2, and 3. More so 2 and 3. Are you familiar with the series, Tyler?
You could say that I watched a friend play a lot of it and show me every single cutscene to the games. Yes.
Okay. Kevin, are you familiar with these games?
No.
Okay. I played a lot of these games.
Baxter, how could you not do this, Baxter? You're breaking my heart, man.
These games, I love them. Jack and Daxter 2 and 3 especially. Mainly, I put so much of time on them on my PS2. So there's an instance where there's a time travel loop where I don't even know where to begin with this, Tyler. So in Jack 2, you find out that Jack and Daxter are actually living in the future, because at some point in the game they have to defend a younger version of himself that he doesn't realize is a younger version of himself until later in the game, and then he goes back in time with his mentor but a younger version of his mentor that they find in the present, and so takes his mentor and his younger self back in time.
Damn, Kevin, you thought my lore about Kingdom Hearts was bad.
I don't even know how to. This is, and then we find out later in Jak and Daxter 3 that Jack's birth name is Mar, and Mar is actually the founder of one of the oldest civilizations in the game, and we don't know if Jack goes back to the past at some point. And I'm not talking about Samurai Jack here. I'm talking about Jak and Daxter from Jak and Daxter, and I don't know. Is he the same Mar? Is he an ancestor? Is he a descendant? We don't know. And like, I need to know. Like, I love these games, Tyler. The story of these games are fantastic. I just need to know so that the story is complete and I can rest in peace.
Isn't it shown at the end of either 2 or 3 where Daxter is considered part of the precursor legacy, where they're one of the ancient beings in charge of the technology?
Daxter was turned into an Otzel, which is a cross between an otter and a weasel. But he only mimics. It's only in form purely. He just happened to be turned into an Otzel, but that's what the precursors look like.
Okay, and that is fair. And I would also like to point out that Nick, friend Nick. Well, you're also a friend, but other Nick.
Right.
I know, Ram. I'm stepping in bear traps left and right here. Over in the chat, he says, "I thought he was named after the original Mars, so maybe just a rename, like a hero kind of situation."
As far as I know, we don't know. We just know that his birth name was Mar before he was lost as a child to Deimos, who was his father, and we really don't know. We don't. I want to think it would make sense if it was named after either he's a descendant or he's just named after the legendary hero Mar. That would make sense in terms of like putting to rest. But time travel exists in the game, so it isn't far-fetched to imagine that he actually goes back at some point for whatever reason.
So you're suggesting potentially there's a plot hole that would suggest that Jack would go through a time loop to create his own civilization as the leader?
Even further back even further back than the time loop in between 1, 2, and 3.
God damn, I hate time travel in games, man.
Because younger version of himself goes back in 2, goes to 1. He grows up there. He's a mute for whatever reason, and then eventually finds his voice. He travels further in time into 2, and then incidents of 2 happen where he finds his younger self, and then he goes back. So that's the loop. And then 3 happens where he finds out what his birth name is and meets his father.
You know, if he split his heart from his body like Xehanort, he'd be able to travel back to any point that he was at any given moment, and then pull his younger or older self back to the present. And then he could make it a new Organization 13 of Jacks. I'm just saying,
sure.
Kingdom Hearts 3 logic works, man.
Sure. I would. That's part of the reason why I'd buy a PS4, putting aside as well, for Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Those are the games that I grew up on, and those are the games I'd do just about anything to play again. But yeah, that's my interesting plot hole. And then we're gonna move on.
I do want to say one thing with
yes, sir.
With Naughty Dog and Jak and Daxter. It would be nice to see them make a new game, like help just bring it together, or either that, just reinvent it. I don't know if there's been ever any talk recently about that, but I feel
so
like
pulling up their last game. So it was Jak and Daxter 1, 2, and 3. So Jak and Daxter the Precursor Legacy, Jak 2, Jak 3, Jak X, which was the combat racing game, and then Jak and Daxter the Lost Frontier. There was also Daxter, the spin-off game that was on the PSP.
Which is the only game of the series I've played so far. No
I would imagine. Jak and Daxter Lost Frontier was developed by High Impact. So that's when they handed it off to High Impact. I do believe the IP is still owned by Naughty Dog, but for whatever the reason, they couldn't work on it. And The Lost Frontier was okay. It introduced aerial combat and a few other things, and just turned it into like a pseudo RPG that I didn't particularly enjoy. And so I'd like to see them do something again with the universe and the story, because I love it when developers and publishers build these stories and these worlds and they just let it go to waste. Like there's so much you could do with the Destiny universe, the Halo universe, the Ratchet and Clank universe. I haven't played any of the PS3 games, so I can't speak to them. I've only played the original, not even the original. I don't think you can call the first 4 the original 4.
Jack and Daxter: The Lost Frontier is the most recent game in the series, right? Technically,
Yes, it's the most recent game. That was in 2009.
2009. So we are pushing just a little bit under 10 years so far of a new Jack and Daxter game coming out. And so
I believe there was a remastered collection that came out in 2013, maybe. But beyond that, they haven't really done anything else with the game.
Let's say Naughty Dog couldn't do it. What Sony loyal company would you think would be best suited to make a new Jack and Daxter game?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
I was gonna say, Kevin, if you got thoughts on this too, I'd be interested in something like this as well. Honestly, personally, I think right now, and this is kind of bringing up loosely, after what feels like has been a lot of heavy blows with Crystal Dynamics in the Tomb Raider series, I feel like they've been doing great with platforming and all that stuff, and to give them a bit of a break, they could easily do Crystal Dynamics through Square Enix and pump out another Jack and Daxter. Now, I don't know if there would be other companies, that are super loyal to Sony that would be able to pull off something like this, but it shouldn't be too hard, I'd like to think.
I would also be down for Vicarious Visions, really. They did the Crash Bandicoot remaster.
True.
And they are a subsidiary of Activision, but they worked on the PC version for Destiny 2 on the PC port. They did the Crash Bandicoot remaster. And I believe they're working on Crash Team Racing that's coming out this summer.
Oh. Is that really them?
I'm going to find out now.
Nick in the chat is suggesting Polyphony Digital if it was to be another racing game, which they are more well known for their Gran Turismo games, which of course Nick would 100% recommend that in a heartbeat. I'm trying to think if it was a nice simple platformer. I don't know which company made what's it called? Sly Raccoon? Who made Sly Raccoon? Give me the man that made Sly Raccoon, which is Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch, yeah.
Which is owned by Sony. I think we found it. Get fucking Sucker Punch back into the game with, I don't even know what the hell they've been working on lately. Have you heard their name in a while? I feel like I have not. Oh man, they're the last.
Actually,
they're working
I have.
Tsushima.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which is a big thing, but their big thing back then before that was Infamous, and so I feel like they could use a nice, good platformer now. Oh man.
Insomniac too. I'd like to see them because they did Ratchet and Clank. They're the IP. They own the IP for Ratchet and Clank since 2002. They did the Resistance games when they were a thing. Then they did the Spyro remaster, Sunset Overdrive. They did Spider-Man. Yeah.
New stuff. Well, Kevin's been bored the fucking death as we rant on over PlayStation games over here.
No.
What's up?
I enjoy listening.
Well, okay. Kevin, are you much of a Nintendo fan, perchance?
Not much.
Outside of Pokemon, obviously.
I was gonna say you're playing Pixel Spark, a Pokemon Minecraft game, but maybe you just like a good modded Minecraft game. Maybe the focus isn't too much on Pokemon. I don't know.
Basically, I'm not that much of a Pokemon freak. I wish I was, because I do enjoy playing it, and I wish I was better at it. But yeah. Fair enough.
Well, if there is another chance for you to try a Nintendo game a little bit more easier, it's going to be this, Nick. Coming out for Android and iOS in the very near future. Dr. Mario World is coming out. Now, have either of you played a Dr. Mario game?
Nope.
Okay, I was going to say, for the audio listeners, they're both feverishly shaking their heads. Come on, guys. Great audio over here. What's going on here?
I've heard of Dr. Mario, but I've not actually played a Dr. Mario game.
It's maybe not to the same style of Puyo Puyo, but getting damn close to it, kind of. It is, in fact, a puzzle style game. No, very possibly this could be, if it's considered a Puyo game, which I'm not going to call it a Puyo game, because it's just simply a puzzle game. Like to me, I think of like Pokemon Puzzle Quest and that kind of stuff. But however, yeah, it's coming out sometime in early summer 2019.
Okay, so that's probably going to be. They say early summer 2019. Summer, as we know it, is probably going to be from what?
October at this point.
Yeah. Okay, cool. It says this article from Kotaku by Luke Plunkett says
hey, somebody that isn't Jason Schreier.
Somebody that isn't Jason Schreier, because it's not Destiny. The game is described by Nintendo as a puzzle title, while they also say it'll still be free to download with optional in-app purchases. Oh no, Luke Plunkett, we found a typo. Ooh. Somebody get him on the phone.
Oh no! Wait, where's the typo? Thank you, Kotaku, for the ad.
Third paragraph, second line, right at the start.
Oh well, thy also say it will be. Maybe they're Roman. I don't know.
Maybe. I can't assume. It's 2019. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. I should listen to my mother more.
I'm gonna say that might be maybe they're fighting the internet, even though this is an internet article, so they took the E out of they. So yeah. Okay. Also, just on a random side note, just to pack it in, I want to get some more information out of Kevin here. So I'm gonna propose one last article here, if you don't mind. There is a new Splatfest that is coming out this weekend. It's gonna be a big battle coming up this Saturday. The battle between the two Inkling armies is going to be pancakes versus waffles. Kevin, what's better, pancakes or waffles?
That depends on who makes them.
Are you my wife? Are you going to be indecisive? Pick your favorite one of each one then. Jeez.
Okay, let's say you have Gordon Ramsay sits down and makes you pancakes and waffles, and you know they're coming from a top tier person. Which would you pick?
Probably waffles.
Good man.
Nick, are you also waffles?
I'm also waffles because they get nice and light and crispy, and you can put ice cream on it, and it's so good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the first time we've been in 100% agreement that waffles are better than pancakes. Now, let us put the disclaimer that if there's no waffles on the table, pancakes are good.
100%.
I'm saying, we're not saying, I won't eat these pancakes. They're awful.
No, there's ain't nothing wrong with pancakes. It's just I would prefer a nice, light, crispy, not super sweet waffle that's nice and warm to go with my vanilla ice cream.
Okay, fair enough. The downside with waffles is it technically is a bit more greasier, a little bit higher in the calories just with what goes into it. Whereas, pancakes is essentially...
Well, I mean, that's if you're comparing like one waffle to like a stack of pancakes from IHOP.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say, if we're going to talk about IHOP...
Whoever has the one pancake, Tyler. Do you go, like, nobody ever goes anywhere and like, yeah, can I have just a one pancake? Nobody makes you one pancake for breakfast.
What are you talking about? Yes, they do. It's called for children.
Kids don't count. It's always at least two pancakes that people... Kids
this
don't count.
Man did a gun charge transaction in a game saying that it was wholesome. Doesn't count children.
Not in this conversation. We're discussing pancakes versus waffles among adults. All right. And unanimously, we have decided that it's waffles.
You do realize that right now in this conversation, there's one person in many countries considered under the age of 18, therefore not an adult.
But it's
you
Europe.
are excluding our guests in the conversation.
They do things differently. It's Europe.
It's Europe.
17 is probably considered an adult there. Would I be far from the truth, Kevin? No?
No. You can't drive until you're 18.
You don't need to drive to be considered an adult.
I just said Nick can't even drive. Hey-oh.
I can't drive either. I don't know.
I'm just messing, man. You can drive into a pole. So I know how I blade the heat, ain't I? Jeez. Okay, so it looks like even everybody in the chat is 100% waffles right now.
Yeah, waffles are great.
Waffles are fantastic. So okay, the big question is right now waffles is by, oh my gosh, what is the name of the characters from Don't Get Hooked, or Don't, what's it called? Don't Get Cooked, Stay Off the Hook. What are the Pearl and Marina? Thank you. Anyways, I know Kevin's like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
This is from Splatoon 2.
Yes, a game for the Nintendo Switch right now. It looks like Pearl's pancakes, Marina is waffles. So who do you think is going to win the popularity vote? I feel like waffles is going to win the popularity vote, but I feel like the tryhards are going to pick pancakes.
I feel like pancakes are probably going to win it.
It does concern me because it stinks because everybody's going to want waffles and it's the best 2 out of 3. So, fuck, I want waffles to win. I want a waffle right now. Waffle son, tomorrow I'm making waffles. So I think that's pretty much it on news on my end. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
There is one thing I think worth mentioning. There's a rumor that leaked of a new free-to-play BR from EA set in the Titanfall universe.
Oh no, I've heard about this. This
is purely a rumor. We know nothing. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens until Monday. I think Monday, that's when the rumor said that they were set to announce something. Apparently there are no Titans, so it's purely gonna be pilot versus pilot gunplay, which I think would be fine. Look, it's either pilot versus pilot gunplay, or it's Titan versus Titan. But if you want to try out any of these other Titans, you have to pay. You see, like that would create that's essentially pay to win.
Oof.
And tell me EA wouldn't do it.
As flames shoot up in the background, even EA would never try to make money off of pay the win schematics. No, sir, they've never done that before. So I was about to make the argument. I was like, it's like Halo without banshees and ghosts. You just can't have a map without it. Yes, you can. As it turns out, there's plenty of Halo maps that don't incorporate that. So okay, fine, whatever. Okay. You win. So there was also talk about this rumor where Respawn might actually not be in charge of this project,
which is fine. As long as it doesn't take away from Titanfall 3. I couldn't give a shit what happens with this BR.
Okay, that was my biggest concern right there. Is if they take it away from Respawn, does that mean Respawn's on its way out to being done for at this point? Is that going to kill the dream of finally spitting on Activision in the face after the whole split up from Infinity Ward, which is where this whole thing just started from in the first place? It just stinks because Respawn was the greatest revenge story that was going to happen. And not only did it, fail in a lot of directions, they got stabbed by their own partner.
Yep.
Brutus, aka EA, just screwed him over so bad, and it's upsetting. Yep. Nick is saying Respawn is making a Star Wars game. Is that true?
I believe they are. They have been assigned to the next Star Wars game. Okay. That was after, or this was before even the Vancouver project got canceled. Vancouver EA was working on the Star Wars open world game.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, Nick, some games are coming up this week. No, nothing too crazy, but some games.
Nothing too crazy, but we actually have video games that's starting to come out. February 22nd. We're not going to cover that until a few episodes from now. But February 22nd is going to be insane because we've got several games coming in at that time.
Are you going to say what the game is, or are you just going to leave us in suspense for 2 episodes?
February 22nd. I'm going to leave you guys in suspense. I know Anthem's coming out, and there are 3 other games that are coming out at the same time. If it is Monday, it is Monday. I hope you guys have had a chance to play some of the Anthem open demo. I will be talking about it more next week, just because we recorded on Saturday. I haven't actually had time to play on it yet. But coming out in the next week, February 5th, we've got the Book of Unwritten Tales 2 that's coming out on the Switch. Does anybody know anything about that?
I have no fucking idea what that game is.
Awesome. We're going to move on. We've got Etrian Odyssey Nexus coming out on the 5th of Feb as well, on the 3DS, and it's exclusive.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Is this game about necromancy? Because it's just going to bring a console straight from the dead?
They're trying, man. They're trying.
The 3DS is gone, man. What the fuck is this shit?
We got Spike Volleyball coming out on the same day, February 5th. PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It doesn't look like a Weeb's volleyball game. It just looks like a straight up volleyball sport game, not published by EA, so I don't have any idea who's trying to like actually work on it. But that comes out February 5th, and that is, I believe, the Tuesday. So tomorrow. Next on the list, Astro Near, coming out February 6th, Wednesday, PC and Xbox One. Tyler, do you know anything about this game?
This is technically a Steam port. It did come out over in 2016. It is, if you were to imagine a No Man's Sky style kind of game, it is an open sandbox adventure game. So just expect to have fun and explore kind of stuff. I don't know if there's like a crafting system or if it's survival specifically. Beyond that, I really don't know. Hopefully it's a decent game.
Okay. Coming out February 7th, we've got Ape-out. It's coming out on PC and Switch. Ape-out. What the the only time I've heard that the word ape is Ape Escape, so Ape-out. What the hell is going on here? Ape-out is a wildly intense and colorfully stylized smash 'em up about primal escape, rhythmic violence, and frenetic jazz.
It is a top-down beat-em-up game where you are essentially and this is very colorific because it shows a top-down silhouette of an orange gorilla just running out to people, grabbing them, and then throwing them around and shit. So Ape-out, this is pretty much what it says. Okay, you're just going around and causing mass chaos. That's interesting. Okay. Well,
so that comes out on the 7th of Feb, which is a Thursday.
And unfortunately, as how it is always, we don't have any list on the price because we got 3 weeks left before it comes out on it comes out on Steam according to this on the 22nd or 28th, I mean. God, I love fucking calendars, don't you? Calendars where people try to put all the games on the thing and they change the date willy-nilly. That's what we get for listing up Steam games.
That'll happen.
Oh, they don't get the pressure from the publisher to lock in the date. So, we try to report, on the February 7th, that's probably what it was at one point. And you're like, 28th now. Panic. At least, February 1st. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just trying to get more information about this next game. We've got 3 games coming out on the same day, February 8th, which is the coming Friday. God Eater 3 coming out on the PS4 and PC. This is a Bandai Namco title.
Hell yeah. This is a cam-ass game.
This is a cam game. Yes, I looked it up and I realized it is very much a cam game. Tyler, do you want to tell us a little bit about God Eater?
I have no fucking idea what it's about. All I know is it's a crazy Japanese RPG that they love eating the shit out of gods.
Nice. Moving on. We've got Monster Energy Supercross, and it has a longer title, but it comes out on February 8th. PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. This is a Monster Energy dirt bike game. Monster Energy drink, yes. The energy drink. It is a game but like dirt bike racing game.
There's a dirt bike racing game that's sponsored by a fucking energy drink, like the video game?
Yes.
What the hell? Well, technically, it's real life sponsored by it because it's the real thing. So maybe because they're making a game over it, they got to include the Monster Energy part. But at the same time, it's just
unusual.
I mean, it's the first time I've heard of an energy drink getting into a video game as a title. Jeez.
And then the last one here, Yokai Watch 3, coming out on the 3DS, and this is, I believe, a port. Yeah.
What did it come out on originally then if it was getting ported?
Lord knows. Let's see, Yokai Watch 3.
Yokai Watch typically I know it was on the 3DS, so that's throwing me off here. Yokai Watch was always been the similar to that of Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh no, never. Hang on. Let's see. Yokai Watch 3 was released in 2 versions. Oh no, I believe this is the North American release. My bad.
Okay.
This is not a port. This is the North American release.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, also coming for the 3DS. Normally I'd complain, but seeing how Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, a couple of years ago, it's. Have you ever played Yokai Watch? Either of you?
No.
Okay, then I won't talk about it.
No. I can tell you Yokai Watch 4 will be released for the Nintendo Switch in Q1 of 2019.
Ooh, look at you with that information.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that's exclusive information right here on Casual Master Quest. And then we're going to move on to our this day in gaming, February 4th, which is a Monday. Not much happened. Tyler, do you want to talk about the first thing that happened?
Yes, the toy headquarters company, also known as THQ, many years ago, previous to this, had actually, I think THQ. I'm trying to remember the history.
I wonder if this was the same year or just the year after, because I feel like a lot of these things happened in quick succession. Because we talked about this a few episodes ago.
Yes, we did. It's throwing me off here. Yes, THQ in 2012 declared bankruptcy, and so in 2010, THQ tried rebranding itself. Sorry, on this day, February 4th, 2010, THQ had tried to rebrand itself and fix itself up to, be a new game company and make things right. Also, just to stop Kevin from being overly confused, this podcast comes out on Mondays, so we always talk about the Monday of every week.
We confuse ourselves too.
Yeah,
It's
no kidding.
Sunday for me, so
But yeah, Toy Headquarters tried rebranding itself. About a year and a half later, it declares bankruptcy, and eventually, I think in 2014, it gets bought out by Nordic Games, and so it comes back as THQ Nordic in 2016, which is the company we know for making Darksiders 3. So,
yep.
But another game came out in 1999. Kevin, what game came out in 1999 on this day?
I was not born, so I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's right. Oh my, we're in 2019.
We're old as shit. God damn it.
My sister.
We're older than dirt. God damn it. I'm a man child. I have to pay a bill or something. I feel responsible. Also, I guess according to Nick, Monster owns NASCAR and Red Bull owns the Global Rally Cross Series. So I guess I was wrong technically, but you don't see Monster in the title for NASCAR 2019. Is there a NASCAR 2019?
I don't know. That's an American question.
Oh yeah, that's America. So 1999, Tomb Raider 2 came out on this day in gaming. So and it looks like that was pretty much it in terms of big games that came out that day. Over the course of many bajillion thousand years. You get there?
Sorry, I was just looking something up. Tomb Raider 2, 1999. Is that still Triangle Boobs era?
I mean that came out. It doesn't even say what year or what system it came out. That's awkward. I'm guessing that came out for the PlayStation. So by all means, yes, it was in fact the Triangle Boob era, as you very, very eloquently described.
But beyond that, that's pretty much it for the episode. Kevin, where can people find you if they wanted to find you? Do you do things on the internet? What do you do? Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your life. Where do you live? What kind of pets do you have? Do you like ice cream? How do you like your steak?
How do you like your steak? Put you on the spot.
I mean, that was a lot of questions.
No, it's okay. Ignore all of them.
That was.
How do you like your steak?
How do I like my steak? I'd say medium rare.
Okay, I can respect that. That's fair. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're happy with that. But yeah, tell us, let people know where they can find you. What do you do on the internet?
Right. So I don't use a lot of social media. The only one I'm really sometimes using is Twitch. So that would be twitch.tv/Baxter, but with 3 R's, because the one with 1 R and 2 R's was already taken. I think that was me.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Do you stream then? Is that a fair assumption to make?
Yeah, sometimes. I don't have a schedule or anything. But
okay. What do you? Yes, Tyler.
Here and throw some shade at Nick because I'm a little upset with him.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games of all time for the 3DS came out on this day.
Here we go. All right, hit me with it.
In 2013, for the 3DS and this day of gaming, Fire Emblem Awakening came out.
See, I was gonna put that game in, but I've never played a Fire Emblem game, so I'm like, I'm like, all right,
But
cool.
you fucked up, Nick.
All right,
You done goofed. Nick, it's Fire Emblem Awakening. What are you doing, man?
Never
You
played it.
Yes.
I never played it. I only bought my 3DS for the Pokemon games, Tyler. What do you want?
Oh, blasphemy! Don't say that shit.
That's the only reason I owned the console, because I wanted to play Pokemon. What was it? XY.
You take that back, mister.
I'm not taking it back.
You take it back.
All right. Well, so Fire Emblem Awakening came out this day in gaming, February 4th, on the 3DS. Was that it?
That is a beautiful game right there, mister. You need to
I'm not disagreeing with you. I never played it. I can't agree whether a game is good or bad or not if I haven't played it.
Yes, you can. I can tell you without any reservation that Fallout 3 is terrible, and I've only watched 150 hours of the game. I could tell you Nier Automata without playing it was actually going to be a great game.
Is that everything you wanted to add, Tyler?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation. I got a little tilted right there that he skipped it because I left him in charge of all the good stuff, and he picked Tomb Raider 2 over Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS.
I felt like it was significant.
We're going to talk. We're going to have a company meeting after this one.
All right, so that was my last episode of Casual Math. Kevin, what games do you stream?
Kevin, what do you feel about guesting and not guesting? How do you feel about co-hosting? I'm looking for a new partner. I need the strong silent type.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. This is like the first time I've ever been live talking to other people that I don't know in real life.
Yeah, it's intimidating at first, and then eventually you learn where you're comfortable and where you can interrupt people. What games could we find you streaming, Kevin?
Usually League of Legends and Terraria. Sometimes
good choice, strong answer.
There we go. And then sometimes I also stream while I am programming.
Okay.
Nerds.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Tyler, where can we find you?
Right now, I'm not going to talk about my Twitch because I haven't been on there. You can find me on Twitter at 2xTyler. All letters, all one word. 2xTyler. Because I have to do everything twice.
Okay. And then you can find me at twitch.tv/LRWarrior11. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at LRWarrior11. I'm streaming very inconsistently, but I do stream some D2 sometimes, so come say hi if you can. You can find the show on Twitter at MasterQuestPod, or you can email us at casualmasterquest@gmail.com. Emails with questions, comments, concerns. Reach out to us, say hi, whatever you want. If you just want to chat, want to meet up. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram, both of which are being worked on. Facebook more than the Instagram right now. Facebook, I believe you just look up Casual Master Quest. You'll find us. Yeah. And I believe we are at Casual Master Quest on Instagram. We're just still working on figuring out a workflow for uploading videos regularly there. But yeah, that's us. That is the show. That is episode number 38 of Casual Master Quest. We have Tyler. We were joined today by Nick. You can find him again on twitch.tv/Spaxter, which is SPAXTERRR.
Did you just call him Nick?
Possibly. I'm sorry.
You called him Nick.
You called him Nick a few times too.
No, I've talked about my friend in the chat. I either call him Kevin. Have I called you Nick?
Yeah, you've called him Nick. I've been paying attention.
I don't think so. No.
Kevin, remember, I'm still a moderator on the generation thing.
Don't let him bully you anymore, Kevin. You can stand up to him. Stand up for yourself. He's just an old man. I would never
bully him. I would never be like you, Nick. You big bully with the silver lining.
That is Casual Master Quest episode number 38. I was your host for this episode, Nick, and I'm joined by Kevin and Tyler.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Have a good day, and don't forget to never stop the grind. Be safe.
See you guys next. Bye bye.